Hey, how are you? Oh, hey, not too bad. How are you? Yeah, I'm great. How's things? Yeah, things are fine. How about you? How's work? Yeah, work's good. What about you? Yeah, it works fine. Yeah. Well, I guess see you. Yeah, I guess nice to see you. Okay, bye. Bye. Are you tired of small talk? How awkward is that situation when you're trying to fill in the silence because it feels so excruciatingly painful to deal with that awkwardness of just standing there and looking at somebody and not knowing what to say? If you experience this awkwardness and if you're tired of small talk, please do keep watching this video because I'm going to share with you guys 3 simple tips that you can start applying in your life straight away to help you feel much more comfortable in these conversations. We've all been there. We bump into somebody who we know. We might not want to speak to them, but of course we feel like we need to speak to them because we know them, and if we just say, oh hey, hope you're well, and walk away, that's going to be the end of us, right? That feels excruciatingly terrifying because if we don't do that, it means that we don't like them and they're going to hate us. So we get involved in talking to somebody and nodding our head just because we're too afraid of walking away when we feel like it. This is of course our anxiety that's telling us you can't say no, you can't just leave now, you can't keep this short because that person is going to be completely destroyed. They're going to think you're an awful human being and they're never going to want to talk to you again. And this is why we get caught up in small talk. Filling in that awkwardness with questions about anything just to keep the ball rolling and hoping for some kind of a resolution to this situation where we can just walk away and get on with our lives and not have to stand there anymore. So what I'd like to do in this video is share with you guys 3 simple tips that you can start applying to help you navigate yourselves better through these situations when they present themselves. Tip number 1, silence is okay. Now I know it's easier said than done. When we're actually feeling uncomfortable in the silence, it's almost like there's a volcano inside that's about to erupt. And if I don't say something, then it's going to erupt and I'm going to look like so weird. So we keep filling in the silence with anything they would like to say, right? But actually, silence is very important. And it gives us time to just process what we're actually feeling. If we don't give ourselves that space, we don't breathe, we don't properly think through what we're going to say, and we resort to saying anxious-driven things that are conventional, things that everybody else says 1,000 times a day in an attempt to empty themselves of that awkwardness. But the irony is that if you try to empty yourself of your awkwardness and escape this awkward feeling, you're going to make it more awkward. The harder you try to make a situation less awkward, the more awkward it's going to be because you're coming from a place of awkwardness. So basically, sometimes the best thing is to do nothing. I heard this in a movie once where they said there are times where it takes the greatest amounts of effort to do nothing. And that's really my first tip, that when you're feeling unsettled, this shaky, uncertain energy creeps in where you don't quite know what to do with it, you want to get rid of it, don't act, don't speak. That's a moment for you having to stay with yourself, to breathe, to ground yourself, to come back to your center, because then you're more likely to say something substantial, something that actually matters in some way. If you don't, if you're coming from this shaky energy, everything that you're going to say is just going to be verbal diarrhea. And then what's very likely to happen is that the other person will also get infected by that, and suddenly you'll have 2 people who are like, yeah, okay, yeah, good, okay, bye. And I know how hard it can be. I have been so many times in that situation because I take a moment, I focus on my breath, and then suddenly it gets very quiet and silent, and the anxiety gets worse Because now it feels like, oh my God, this is getting worse, this is getting worse. There is a point where it can suddenly go. The moment where that anxiety disappears is the moment that you stop focusing on yourself. You create more space in yourself. There's an energy of vastness that enters where suddenly you feel a bit more spacious. So that's the first tip. When you're feeling unsettled, instead of trying to cover up this anxiety, this awkwardness, and filling in the silence with meaningless stuff, take a pause, breathe. Tip number 2, admit that you're feeling nervous. Now I know that this is usually the tip that everybody goes like, wait. What do you mean admit that I'm feeling nervous? No, thank you very much. I need to maintain my persona of who I am, and thank you very much. I cannot let other people see that I'm feeling any nervousness because I don't. Right? Sometimes this pride creeps in and people come up with all kinds of reasons. Oh, I'm in a professional setting, I can't. What are my boss's managers going to think? Trust me, if you say something sincerely, it's fine. But if you're being sincere and you're in a conversation, you're in a certain dynamic where, again, this nervousness and awkwardness creeps in, sometimes it's totally okay to say, I'm feeling a little bit anxious, or oh, my mind is all over the place. Can you give me a few minutes? And by the way, you see that even saying that can actually buy you the time that you might need for tip number 1, to take a moment to withdraw to yourself. And the irony is that people actually love and respect you even more because you're being real. Who's gonna say no to that? And tip number 3, use your intuition. What does that mean, to use your intuition? That means don't use your brain. Don't think your way through, what do I say? How can I make this interesting? What are they thinking? Is this working? When you get into that trap, it's never ending, right? There's gonna be a whole array of questions and analysis, Excel sheets that pull up in the brain trying to analyze the best, perfect formula for what to say. Avoid the common trap of saying the same things that we say every day. How are you? Not too bad. Very well. How's the weather? What did you have for lunch? The reason we say this is because it's almost become a script that everyone resorts to not have to feel the awkwardness, to not have to experience intimacy, to have to deal with another human being, to feel that tension. So what's the tip to avoid this? Don't use your brain, use your intuition. You'll be surprised how your intuition is so powerful in sending you ideas and inspiration all the time. Your intuition spots things. Oh, she's wearing something she wasn't wearing before. Oh, he's got something new about him. You can say whatever is happening to you, and the more openly you do it, the more likely it is to create a dynamic conversation. Because creativity is born from two people being open, you know? Think of it as we're two antennas, right? We've got different memories, thoughts, sensations, things coming to us. The more openly we can express this, and the more likely then we are to create a more organic and natural connection with somebody else, which is full of life. It's not scripted, it's not planned, it's not a textbook. It's alive, it's real, it's in the moment. So use your intuition. Call it out. Some memory comes to you that you've forgotten about. Say it. You feel something in your body. Oh God, I just felt this. I'm feeling. You will see that the people that you really respect the most, the people who are able to do this very naturally, they just say what comes to them. And what that creates is a dynamic where they make you feel like you're their best friend. Like you've come over for tea to their house and they're just having a casual, friendly chat with you because they're being so natural. So this third tip is use your intuition because it makes you natural, it makes you organic. And that's what fosters human connection. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Please do start applying these tips into your life straight away. Also, don't forget to like this video, to subscribe to my channel so that you can keep receiving more helpful videos on confidence. And if you're interested in finding out more about us, please do check out our website, which you can also find in the link below. And I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.